Hey y'all. It's been a nice morning, but got a little cold front and rain coming in soon. I don't know how much more lawn stuff I'll be able to get done, but anyway, I'm hearing that the wannabe tyrant in chief is calling Iran victory a win. When we got tankers on fire, Straits of Hormuz are cut off, and ports in Oman, this country I lived in for 6 years and probably walked around those ports, have been hit overnight. So I'd say it's far from over. Costing, what is it, $1 billion a day? We've already spent like 11, I don't know, a ridiculous sum. When I see people all around me in need, not being able to afford proper food or health care. Supposedly the richest and the best country in the world. Anyway, the new Ayatollah is even more dead set on getting a nuke than his father was. Good job. He wasn't even in the line of succession, dumbasses. The other man was, 80 some odd years old? God, y'all are some idiotic people. You do not know how to think big picture, do you? And the costs of the war after, because we've stabbed a lot of our allies in the back. We're gonna have to figure some shit out, man. We're gonna be, I'm so sorry, y'all, for a long time. Then let's what else is there that I was thinking about related to Iran? Oh, well, yeah, we killed all those girls. Our taxpayers with that Tomahawk missile killed all those girls. And I do want to say something about this, because when the latest war with Israel and Gaza began, that turned into a genocide. And I understand now why they're all angry, because Israel's plan isn't to live peacefully amongst a myriad of other people. They're like trying to go back to like early human, have an Israeli state. That is just them, I guess, and they want to take over all of it, including Iran. It's like Bibi's been trying to get the U.S. to go to war with Iran, and for a long time now. And we screwed up this Ayatollah. Like, if you read Persepolis 1, Persepolis 2, you'll understand, like, go back to Jimmy Carter, and, in our involvement that ostensibly was, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that. But what I want to talk about is my brother's PTSD, untreated, before he passed, and where I was often, my mom too, mostly. I think my mom was, because she was on the right side of the world for him, was often his first person to call. But Lola, it's okay. But what he heard a news report, and it included a report on how many women and children were killed, and he calls me in a complete panic. He's crying. He can barely get the words out, and he's saying, "Cricket, I killed women and children. Cricket, I killed women." He kept saying it over and over, and he was pacing, and he said that because he's the one that delivered the commands. He was the yeoman for the second in command. So it's, I guess, like the secretary, but not like deliver the orders from the yeoman to the people who carry out the operations, is my understanding. On the USS Carl Vinson, first on the scene, Persian Gulf, after 9/11. Where all of us, I remember that time, we really came together as a country, very patriotic. We really did believe that, it's my understanding now. There are people who don't like are greedy and extractive and bullying and take what we want and gyp people for things that we know is going to make us a whole lot more money. We just haven't been fair to people. We've used their resources and their own wealth, taking advantage of their lack of education. Maybe even it's our, it's just a long history in this country of being bullies. And I don't like that. I find it very embarrassing as an American. Anyway, so, more than just the dollar effects to account for the war. Yeah, all these war hawks that have interest in making money through selling of guns and missions, they all have these back channel ways of making money off of war with these defense contracts. I don't know. If we're going to make money off of something, I think we should do it in environmental and peace contracts. Build up the Peace Corps and tear down the military-industrial complex. Automatically enroll everyone in this country to vote. You have to opt out of voting. Everybody automatically. It's just what we do. We have a national holiday for voting, so everybody can have a grand time voting and having their voice be heard. It'd be like Christmas, but for voting. And the gift is we the people have our voice heard. There's a lot of people that are apathetic, think that, they've tried too hard for too long and given up. Well, that plays into authoritarians. My authoritarian ancestors used weaponized religion. Like, there's even whole groups of, I think it's the Jehovah's Witness. This is my neighbor behind me, one of the many who tried to proselytize me in this little town east of Raleigh, North Kakalaki. They don't vote at all. Let the world decide. Well, the world in America decided really shitty. Tried to warn all y'all. My first protests were pre-election. And it's only because I had a through line with all of this rhetoric that the colonel refused. I guess it's a good thing. He never listened to me. He never respected me. He kept sending me his shit to the point I had to block him. Keep other people in my family make entire other email accounts. I'm like, I'm not going to be bullied out of my email account. Anyway. But I did, how that went for decades is like I would consume, younger, when I was younger, had more energy, fewer responsibility, and really, trying to save my dad and make him into somebody I could respect. Can't make anybody into, that has to come from within them, so I just can't respect him in that way. The only thing I can say is that I do think he tried to be a good person, and the only way he knew how is just that he was surrounded by a lot of misguided people who pointed him in the wrong direction. That is for sure. Ingrained in the family, racism and xenophobia. I told my son once, when he was 3, sitting in his lap, trying to cut through a piece of steak with a steak knife for the first time, and my dad makes a joke to the whole family. There's a lot of people around. Pretend like it's a Muslim and chop off his head. My eyes went wide. My jaws clenched. My ex and I looked at each other. I went calmly, picked him up. We went into the room. We packed up. And we left that night. And some might say, well, gosh, you're a coward. You didn't say. Well, you can't say anything to that. He's an abusive son of a bitch, and he'd kick your ass. This is all there's to it. You end up in shambles one way or another. Pile of tears or pile of bruises, depending on who you are. I'm very disappointed in us that we, the people, allow this to happen. But on the other side of things, I do still believe that the Constitution was an aspirational document and meant to be amendable with the times, and the times should be that we are going to stop being extractive assholes. The radical right say we're policing. No, we're really, it's policing our interests is what it seems like. It's in bullying people. It's what I've come to understand. I always thought we were good guys, and we are not the good guys in this story. It's very disappointing. Well, once the dust settles, we'll have the opportunity, and we will have to rebuild. And then we rebuild the kind of world we want to live in. We rebuild the kind of world where most of us have been cultivating the entire time that I've been alive, of peace on earth, goodwill to all humans, while trying to work hard and have nice things in a family. And, I think on whole Americans are wasteful, greedy, buy too much shit, think they need too much shit. But I'm not going to judge the average American for things that they do that fulfill some sort of need, because I know that there's this whole other class of people, the Epstein class, we'll call it, because those are the ones I particularly hate. It's not that I hate all billionaires, like the philanthropic ones, provided it's done ethically and, well intended. I mean, please give your money away. I mean, it's not like you can spend it in your lifetime. And as we can see in the Trump family as a prime exemplar, the inheritance of wealth and without working for it, I don't know, man, seems to produce some really awful human beings. Just awful. Anyway, well, Lola, cut it out. Y'all get out there and make good trouble. Peace.